Okay, perfect. So cool. Okay, so like I said, my name is Caitlin. I am a diamond leader from Fredericksburg, Virginia, a super tiny little town. And one of my girls on my team actually coordinated this entire Zoom. She was so excited to reach out to Chloe. She heard her talk on a Zoom. Honestly, it's been like a couple weeks. Like I feel like it's been a minute since she heard her, and she just like fell in love with her story. So she actually like took it upon herself to reach out to Chloe and ask her if she'd do this. And I was like, well, hey, since you're talking to her, why don't you get her on our team Zoom and we can like all be friends? So I'm really excited for you guys to hear Chloe's story, but I really just wanted to kind of set the stage, and I'm gonna let Deanna, who is a distributor. Oh no, she's an executive. Y'all, she promoted to executive last month. She is pretty much couple boxes from boxing an emerald. So she's gonna go from executive to emeralds. There's four. Okay, see, I was close. So yeah, we're super hyped for her, guys. Show love in the chat. I'm going to unmute Deanna, and I'm gonna unmute Chloe. So you guys can
Hi. Can
me.
you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay.
And Chloe, did I unmute you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. So I am like super excited to do this. Super excited. Chloe and I talked a lot yesterday. So I basically already had the Zoom like one-on-one with her, but I'm super pumped for you guys to be able to hear all of this. And I'm sorry I'm on my phone, so I'm a little all over the place. But I do want to welcome Chloe. She is absolutely phenomenal. She is one of my fellow green people. We are like few and far between, I feel like. And that's part of what like prompted me to reach out to her, because there's just like no one green on my team. And I need green in my life. So, Chloe, if you wouldn't mind like telling us a little bit about yourself, your story, how you got to where you are, so we can just kind of soak up all the goodness.
Yeah, so my story, and I've talked on Zooms before, and I always tell people like my story's kind of ridiculously long, so we're just gonna like kind of condense and make it short and sweet. But I originally joined in July of 2018. I was a broke college student with a busy schedule and a bad job. I literally thought about that today. But I was a theater student. I was going into my junior year of college, and my schedule was just insane. I had a part-time job. I was a hostess at a restaurant, and I absolutely hated my job. I hated where I worked, but I couldn't get another job because of my school schedule. And just like with everything going on, like I couldn't afford my bills, I couldn't afford my rent, I couldn't put gas in my car. I was just like the typical broke college student. So I came across this business on Instagram, and I talked to the girl for about a month, and all I could think of, like, even the times that I like ghosted her follow-ups, I still like couldn't stop thinking about making money from my phone, because that was like the dream. That would have been fantastic. So I jumped in about a month later, and I did absolutely nothing. I let all of the fear and all of that get in the way. So if you've been there, like, I feel you. So I didn't work from basically July of 2018 when I joined until January of 2019. I signed like 3 or 4 customers and a distributor. I really didn't do anything. I got paid one paycheck, and that was the first month when I was CQ because I joined. But I did absolutely no work. And so I quit, I guess, in January, and I was still in all of the Facebook team pages though. And so I saw everyone's excitement and all of the lives and all of the posts and all the success. And I remember seeing people that joined when I did, and they were diamond and double and triple. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I am sitting on such an opportunity, and I have done nothing. And all of these people that joined when I did are so successful. Like, if I could have been in that spot right now, like all of these problems I had would be solved basically. And so I ended up coming back in July of 2019, a year after I originally joined, and I still was not really consistent. I did a little more work, and I loved the business, but I just like was not self-disciplined enough with myself to stay consistent. And October rolled around. So from July to October, I was really iffy. And in October, conference tickets, the early bird tickets were released. And I heard everyone telling me to get to conference. All the leaders were saying, go to conference, it'll change your business. And so I bought the ticket. I was like, I need this to work. I want this to work. So I'm going to put in what it takes, and I'm going to go to conference and like allow this to change my business. And it did. So I know with COVID and everything, when we start having events in person, like get to events, get on virtual events, like all of the things, just being around people, team retreats, like anything to be around people who are like-minded, it will change your business. Even like sitting on Zooms every day, if you get on and just work with your team, like that's going to change your business. So I came out of conference, I needed 3 to chart Emerald, and in 5 days, I think after conference, I charted Emerald. I charted Diamond at the beginning of April, and I always tell people, like, before April, I had enrolled maybe at most 3 or 4 people in a month, like LCs, distributors combined, 3 or 4 people in a month. And April 17th, I remember I had a coaching call, and April 17th, I was like, I am not going to let another month by. I have been here for almost 2 years. I will promote this month. And that was the first time in my business that I had ever truly made the decision to go all in and to do it. And from April 17th until the end of the month, I signed over 20 loyal customers, and we went Ruby. I needed like almost 800 on the 25th after auto ships ran, and we did it. We pulled it in because I decided that I was going to do it. And people would be like, well, if you don't, and I'm like, no, that's not an option. It is happening. So on Zoom with my team, the day before the end of the month, I got to watch eSuite roll to Ruby, and that was so crazy because I was like, that's literally, people tell you to make a decision and that's what it takes. And for so long, I was like, no, there's got to be something. Nope, that's it. There's nothing else to it. Make the decision and do the work. And that's what's going to happen. So fast forward, been working with my team over the past few months has been a lot of me growing as a person and as a leader, and really working with my team to develop the leadership I need to take our team to the next level and to promote and to help my team promote. And the end of July, right before the $49 deal happened, we charted double. So you're charted double diamond. We are pushing diamond right now, and we are pushing to be double at the end of October. So that is kind of, it's a long story, but that is like my story.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, unmute. My phone is going crazy. So that's amazing. You're charted for double right
Yes.
now. Okay, but you're like, are you Emerald? Okay, so you're still Ruby, but you're charted for double and you're going for diamond. I love it. And it's only like the 12th of the month, so you're gonna hit that. It's just like so exciting. So I do have a couple of questions just to kind of like get it out there. I know we have a lot of new people on Caitlin's team who are literally like just starting out. And I did love what you said about like making the decision.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just with the Push to Diamond team that's like out there right now, so much about like making the decision and just like doing it on your business. And I keep saying that I'm making the decision every day, but I'm making the decision every day. I'm going to promote this month. I'm going to hit Ruby. I keep getting so close, but I'm going to do it. But like, what kind of like things do you do to get all of these DTs? Like
So
you have so many, but like, what do you do to get them?
Yeah, so I am really honestly, and I'll talk about this on another Zoom too, but I really just try to show up as myself. Number one, I show up every day because people are going to go to someone if they see you showing up. Like if they see someone that's present and they see you posting and showing up and talking, like those are the people like that people are going to gravitate towards. And you just have to be yourself. Like I show up on my story and I spill coffee all over everywhere and I still post it because like I'm just me. Like I want people to know like they're getting what they see on Instagram stories. Like I'm not a different person when they sign up. And I tell people, I'm like, I have a squirrel brain, text me twice or I won't respond to you. Like I'm just honest with people. So I just, in terms of like that, I'm just myself. I show up every day for my business. People see me post. They know I'm going to be on my stories. They know that every single morning they're going to see coffee and personal development on my stories. That's just like a given. They know me. They know I have cats. They know I love to travel. They know I love sushi and tacos. Like those are just things about me. And so I feel like making sure that you're putting yourself out there to be relatable. Like it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be perfect. I used to think that I had to show up as some perfect person on my Instagram stories with like the right pictures and this right filter and the right stickers or whatever to enroll distributors, and that's not like you don't have to be perfect. I show up like spraying coffee all over like the counter like I did one day, and I post about it, and I post my cats, and I post dumb things, and it takes like just stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit. Like at first you're going to be like, I don't want to post this Instagram story that I just recorded. Like I look dumb, like, it's not like perfect and cutesy, but that's not necessarily what people want. Like they want to see you. And so, yeah, be authentic, like just be yourself and tell your story. I talked about this on another Zoom too, but I talked about like salt and light in the Bible. It talks about, don't lose your saltiness. And I honestly compared that to the business, and don't lose your story. Like, don't lose your story. Don't let that go away. Be honest with people. Like you showing up as you is what is going to attract people. And just in like technical terms, I guess that's more of like the personal, but like in technical terms, life post stories, something about my business is somewhere every day. And I plaster my work from home application everywhere. I put that work from home application it's in my Instagram bio, it's in my Facebook bio, it is in all of my life posts in the comments, it is like all my stories, I do TikToks, like that thing is everywhere. And I even got to the point, I'm like, okay, I'm really pushing for distributors. I will go back. Yeah, I put it on Pinterest. Like Pinterest, by the way, Carol showed me this. It will blow up. I ended up with like thousands of views on business like Pinterest, and I have like 2 applications, like one from Mexico. And I was like, what? Like, how did these people find me? It was from Pinterest. I literally said, shout out to Kara for that. But just plastering that work from home application everywhere. And I will even go back on like old product and giveaway host to post that I've done and be like, hey, I know, like, I don't know if anyone might be interested, but I've had like 2 spots open up on my team for some extra income if anyone's interested. And I will leave the link. And I've gotten applications from product host to post before that I let go down a few weeks and then I'll bump them. So the post is bumped. So if nobody commented on it, it still got bumped in people's timelines. But if people did comment on it, and maybe some of those people said, I can't really afford products, well, they have been presented with the business. So technical wise, I just put that work from home application everywhere, and I show up talking about my business every single day.
I love it.
Yes.
And I know Caitlin just like put a thing in the comments, and I'm gonna like tie that in together with something else. But I just love the fact that you're saying like you don't have to be perfect, and that's something that I try not to get too much focused on. But I know sometimes when I'm making videos, I go back and like nitpick how I sound. Yeah. I hate how I sound on videos.
I do the same thing.
But like I need to like stop it and just be me. And I think everyone just needs to learn to like be themselves, because being so new in the business, you like want to be perfect. You want to be on like Caitlin and Caro's level of like perfection with everything that they do, and
yeah,
do all of the good things.
I'm a hardcore perfectionist, and I am super hard on myself, and I kind of just had to give myself a little grace and be like, people, like, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be myself. Now, yes, like put a preset on your picture and like make your feed cohesive, but like you don't have to show up as like someone you're not. You don't have to show up as someone like that's just not authentic. Like just be yourself, and that's what's going to bring people to you.
So I love it. How do you like organize your day? Like what are your daily tasks that you do, and like how do you stay organized with all of your PLCs, PDTs, and like current customers and distributors? Like how do you work your day out to keep it organized?
So this is the part that my green loves talking about. I am like extra ultra green, like a scary amount of green. And so this is like, I'm like all organization. So I actually have all my stuff right here. I'm prepared. And ironically, they're little notebooks. Okay, I didn't mean for that to happen. So I literally work my business with 2 notebooks and a planner. That's literally all I do, but I have to stay organized to like make any of this work. So my notebook, I have a 3 subject. These are from Dollar General. We're not getting fancy. Like you don't need to buy a $20 planner off Amazon. Get you some like $1.50 Dollar General, I also can't speak, Dollar General notebooks, and like all your business. That's all you need. So I have a 3-subject notebook, and it's obviously divided into 3 sections. And the first section is all my potential customers. So I know that this entire first section of my notebook is like full of all my potential customers, and I write their name, I write where I'm talking to them, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, text message, and I write what products we're talking about. So that way, when I go back to follow up with people, I know exactly what we were talking about, and so that's how I know kind of which message to send to follow up. I don't have to go back in our messages and be like, crap, like what products were we talking about? Just make it quick and easy. I write literally all of the details here. And then whenever someone enrolls, I highlight their name. So just makes it easy. So when I go back again to follow up, I know who's enrolled, I know who's not, and who I need to follow up with. And if they're dumb butts and tell me not to contact them, I just mark them off the list, like simple as that, and that's fine. So then the second divider section is for my potential distributors, and I do this per month. I honestly just gave up doing per month on customers, like not even gonna lie, because I had like so many potentials. But I do this by month for distributors. Everyone I talk to, I put their name and where I talk to them. If they're, Facebook, Instagram, or if they're from my application, then I'll put application / Facebook, Instagram, or text, so I know where they told me to contact them at, so I know where our conversation's going on, because I have like a lot of applications, and so for me, I can't go through every single one of them to find where we were talking. I'd be doing it for hours, so I just do that. And again, if someone's dumb and tells me not to contact them or whatever, I just mark them off, and when they enroll, I highlight them. And then in my last, and I'll show you guys what I was doing today, but this is how I track my host to post, and it's the only, it's the system that I found that's worked for me because I'm green. So every single day gets a page, and I write the date, and then I write LCDT giveaway and sample, or an S. And so this is telling me like how many of each I've gotten up, because I send like all of them. So if I send someone a host to post, I write their name down and write what I sent them, LCDT giveaway or sample. And once they post it, so their name goes down if I send them a post, not if I've just like talked to them. If they get a post in their inbox from me, then I write their name down and write what I sent them. And once they tell me, because I do not have them tag me, once they tell me that they have posted it, I check their page, I save it, and then I highlight their name off, and I just like tally mark how many I've gotten up for the day. So I've gotten like 12 or so up today, and I want to get a few more up before bed, but like it's just so simple. And it's the way I keep up with everything. Like I have to have everything on paper. Like I have lost so many potentials like through the cracks, and it has bit me in the butt before, because they will literally sign up with someone else later. Okay, if you are not following up with your potentials, they will sign up with someone else. You have planted the seed, so they're gonna sign up. Just make sure it's with you. But that's literally happened to me before, so I just put everybody's down on paper in a notebook, so like I don't lose it, because if I try to screenshot in my phone, like it's gonna disappear. Like I'm not gonna have it. So that's on that. And then I have a notebook that's just for like my charts and Zoom notes. And so anytime I wanted like access Zoom notes, write anything down, charts, volumes, like all of that stuff, that goes in here, because I draw charts for my team. And then my little planner, I have one that's from Amazon. It's 12. I have like a lot. Okay. I'm to-do list on sticky notes, on planners, so it's fine. But I have, yes. So I have like the weekly view and then like a grid paper. I love it. It was like $12 or $13 on Amazon, but I write every day. I get up, I have my coffee in the morning, I do my personal development, and the very next thing I do is write down everything I want to get done that day, business and non-business. It all goes in here. So once I get done with it, I highlight it off. Some of you guys can see that, but like once I'm done with my stuff, I highlight it off. So tonight I'll go through and highlight everything for today. And then I'll know if I didn't get something done, I'll just move it to the next day. But that is kind of how I keep track. I know it's a lot and I talk really fast, so I'm probably gonna have to watch the recording, but I have to just keep track of everything like on paper. And if someone, I will answer this kind of in the comments, but if someone gives me a date, and if they tell me like exactly when they want to start, then I have the reminders app on iPhone, and you can go back and you can make lists. So I have a list specifically for follow-ups, and these are all people that have given me dates. And so I just put everyone in the reminders app because if my phone doesn't remind me, they're not getting followed up with. Like if I write it down in there, like it may still not happen because there's so many people in that notebook. So if I put it in the minute someone says this date, I go to my phone, I put it in my reminders, and if they gave me a time, then I set that time. If not, I always put it at 10 a.m. And that's just kind of my go-to. And so that day it'll remind me. I'll be like, great, I'm going to go follow up with this person. And you don't even have to think about it or worry about it. It's just there. I do have a terrible memory as well. I will forget people. So I do that. I literally have a list of like all of the people on my team that I need to check in with in my reminders app as well. So every day I can go and mark everyone off and be like, I've checked in with this person and this person and this person, and we're good, because I will forget people. So that's probably a lot of information, but I literally use 2 folders and a planner and like my reminders app. And that's like how I do literally everything.
But that's so good. It's awesome. That whole using reminders for follow-up, I'm gonna have to try that. I started using Jade Hooper's thing about a planner, and I think I've only put like 2 names in. Everything else is still in my notebook that I'm using right now on paper. I think Caitlin said something in the chat. There was a question there that I wanted to like go back.
Yeah.
and
Do you
see.
plan your post?
Yes. You plan like what you're gonna
yeah.
say ahead of time.
So I do, because if I don't, then I will sit on this like chair all day and be like, what should I post today? And then I will never get anything done. So every Sunday, I take 1 to 2 hours, however long it takes me, and I will just sit down specific amount of time and plan all my posts for the week. So I will be like, okay, so on Sunday, so Monday's post will be this and this. I want to do an interaction and a product post that day. And I write them out and I put it all in my notes. And so I put it on my notes on my computer, and then I like email it to myself to keep, but whatever works for you. But I sit down on Sundays. I plan every single post for the week. I write them out. If I know like what pictures I want to put with them, I'll go ahead and just attach the picture with it. Like I do everything. So Monday rolls around and I'm like, oh crap. Oh, I've got a post. Here's my post. Copy, paste, post, done. And it just saves you so much time. So like, yes, it's going to take you a little time on the day that you choose to write it, but it's going to be so worth it the day of, when you're like, I don't have to sit here and think about for an hour or scroll through posts for customers for an hour to figure out like, what do I want to put up today? It's already in your notes. And sometimes I will adjust. Like today, I wasn't supposed to put up a giveaway one, but I was like struggling to get up host to post. So I was like, I'm going to swap 2 days and put up my giveaway post today to make sure I get my host to post up. So you can adjust as you go through the day, but I literally like, I have to plan all my posts for the day. And how many times a day? So I post 2 to 3 times a day, depending. I always put up an interaction post every single day because I need to get people interacting on my stuff to make sure they're seeing my business and product posts. And then sometimes I do 2 more posts. Sometimes I do 1. It's really just for me. I look at my week and kind of alter them, like product, business, giveaway, product, business. So like I just kind of alter them to figure out like what fits my page. And that's kind of how I do it. So I don't necessarily like, each week is different for like, if I do a product on Monday or Tuesday, like it's kind of just different every week, but I figure out like what flows well, I guess, with what I'm writing that week, if that makes sense.
Do you post on your stories a lot besides like just your, 2 to 3 posts on your Facebook page? Like, do you post like multiple times a day on your stories?
Oh yeah, I post a good bit on my stories. Some days a little more than others, just depending on what I have to do for that day. But I always, like in the morning, first thing I do is I post like a quote, or I post my coffee and my personal development. I show my face on my stories every single day. Usually at least once or twice a day, I am talking on my story about something, whether it be like my life, asking for advice, or talking about a product or the business. So I alternate, like kind of like I do with my posts. I don't plan my stories. It's just kind of whatever is going on that day, but I will go put up my coffee and my personal development in the morning, and then I'll probably take a picture of my cat, and then I'll talk on my stories a little bit, and then I'll post something that I'm doing. I'll post about the business. I'll post like a recipe if I cooked that day, like just whatever. That's just kind of a flow of like whatever I'm feeling, what works for that day. But I always try to put at least some type of like interactive thing on my story. So whether it be a poll or if I ask for advice, like one of those answer boxes, I put music on my stories, like anything that you can use off of Instagram, because Instagram loves it when you use their features, especially now with all the new text and like all of the new stuff they have on there. Reels, I've started using Reels too. I use IGTV, like use all of the Instagram features, because social media loves it when you use their features, and they're going to bump your posts more.
What do you consider your daily business tasks, like your non-negotiables for your business?
Yeah. So for me, I make sure that I follow at least 100 people on Instagram. Currently, my Instagram number, like my ratio is really off, and I'm following a lot more people because I went on just this massive following spree and I never unfollowed. So for me right now, it's follow 100 and unfollow 300, just because I want to get the ratio down. But when I get the ratio down, I'll be back to following at least like 150 a day. Just kind of depends, but I do follow. I friend on Facebook, but I actually friend a lot off Host to Post because I'm also almost maxed out on Facebook. And I had to delete like 100 people the other day. So I will add people off of Host to Post. So Host to Post are my like main. I get up 10 to 15 a day. Some days are a little slower, but I always try to hit 10 because it's just the more you get up, the more response. If you do like 2 a week, the Host to Post are not going to work. It's something that you have to stay consistent with, just like everything else in the business. So I do 10 Host to Post, 10 to 15 a day, more if I can, but that's just like my goal. And then I follow, I unfollow currently. That's how I friend people. I interact, because your pages are not going to be seen if you are not interacting. And I learned it the hard way, because my Instagram stories used to have so many views, and suddenly one day they just dipped. Like, I'm talking like 100, 200 less views. And I was like, ooh, I'm not ever interacting. So I make time in the day to scroll down through my Instagram feed, to like and comment on posts. I swipe up on my story, like other people's stories, and comment, and I start conversations with people, not about the business, just like about random stuff. So really for me, it's like growing my market, interacting, doing Host to Post, and just like having new conversations with people. And like obviously part of my dailies, checking in with my team, charting, updating, things like that. But I know that I am posting on my stories. I'm getting my Host to Post up, I'm growing my market, and I'm interacting. And those are just like, I feel like those are most people's dailies, but I just try to make sure that I am having new conversations with people and interacting, because that's honestly, it's networking is how you grow your business. So interact with people, grow your market, post, get your Host to Post up, and have new conversations with people.
Yes, I love it. Sorry, my mom's like asking me about blood pressure issues. Like trying to send her a message on my watch. Yes, I love it. And like we've mentioned this like a couple of times, the personal development. What do you do for personal development?
So I kind of mix it up. Sometimes it's kind of whatever I'm feeling, but there are a few things that kind of stay consistent. So I always do Bible study first thing before I do anything else for personal development. I always do like a Bible study. I'm reading like starting in the New Testament recently. So I finished Matthew. I'm on Mark now. But that's just like the first thing I do, because that's just important to me, and it puts my head in the right space. I can talk to God and like have my Jesus time in the morning. So that's the first thing I do. And I'll actually show you guys a few books because I have them in here. I also journal. So every day I write down things that I'm grateful for, what goals I want to accomplish. And then a lot of times you guys just go to Pinterest and type in like personal development journaling prompts. And there are so many out there that you can find. And they're so good. But book wise, I've been reading Hi God One More Thing, which is so freaking good. I'm sure y'all know about Cheyenne's journaling Zooms. Nicole Crank, the author of this book, was actually on there this morning, and it was so good. And she recorded it, and it's posted to her YouTube, I think, so you can go watch it. But this is so good. This book I got for free, like on accident, because when you do this, like, literally, when you sign up to get the free book, you like are put on a subscription and you can cancel it, and I canceled it, never got charged, but they still sent me a free book in the mail. But it ended up being like a fantastic book. So it is Unstoppable by Christine Caine. It is so so good. Like, I've been reading it, and everything I read is just hitting me, and I'm like, this is great. Leadership, I read Developing the Leader Within You 2.0 by John Maxwell. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10 would highly recommend this. I started reading, and after the first chapter, I was like, I'm changing all of my leadership, everything I do, every way I do anything. So this is kind of random, but I read my Bible, I journal, and then I usually pick one or two of these books to kind of read out of for the day. And podcasts are fantastic. Ashley Mayfield's podcast, Jade Hooper's, Pam Souders, like, there are so many good podcasts. And if you go to Spotify and just look up personal development, there are short little motivational videos, there are podcasts, there's so much motivational YouTube videos. Like, there is so much accessible personal development out there. Like, you do not have to pay for personal development to find it. You don't have to pay for a book. You can find stuff on Spotify, on YouTube. So you definitely need to make the effort to be doing personal development, because you are not going to get anywhere if you are not growing your mind. So those are just some of my favorite books right now. But Bible study, journal, books, and then I'll usually start working and put on a podcast or a YouTube video or something like that.
I love it. And I had another question, but like looking at Caro's comments just made my mind go out the window. There was something else. Oh, what is your favorite host to post? Like, what do you like? I know you like get up multiple different types, but like, is there any one specific, like TFX, coffee, cleanse? Like, is there any one specific product post that works for you, or do you just kind of switch between everything?
So I started, and I only used to do TFX because I was like hitting the jackpot with the TFX host to post. And then recently they were a little dry for me. So I switch up between TFX and cleanse host to post. And the cleanse host to post, you guys, like recently, that is where I signed a customer the other day, like 2 days, like it was not on the spot, but she was like, let me know in 2 days. And like, I'm going to get this. But I'm going to type this out in a second, but it literally, I don't put my friend, I don't put anything on it. It's just like the TFX. And it says, if you could drink 2 4-ounce drinks 2 days in a row, lose 2 to 10 pounds of toxic sludge, and debloat your belly, would you? That is all I have them post. They don't have to say my friend is looking for people. Just like TFX, it's like, would you do this? And people are going to say yes. I'm going to type it out. But that, I've been using this, and it has been like working. I get comments on like the majority of these that I get. And really just product wise, these are the only product host to post I really do. I will occasionally, like if someone comes to me and they have like done host to post for me like a bajillion times, and they're one of the like people that do enter every single giveaway every week, then I'll switch it up and I'll do a coffee, or I will do like a Fat Fighters, especially for like end of the month. That's like a great trying to upsell. But most of the time I bounce between cleanse and TFX. And then I have my one distributor host to post, and then I have like a picture of a samples one that I just started using. My friend Heather, I don't know if she's on here, but shouting her out for this. She was like, we should do these sample host to posts, because she found one, and I like sold one, and she sold a bunch and made a lot of cash. So yeah, so sample host to post for people that have maybe done host to post before, or like any of that, I'll like throw them a, yes, Caro, if you could copy and paste them for me, that would be great. I'm trying to type this one because I'm like, can't like copy over on my phone. But yeah, so.
What's a sample host post, if you don't mind me asking?
No, so it basically, I'm going to show, I can't really send it because it's a picture, but it's very handy. And I sold one the other day off of this. Where is it? It is in my phone. Okay. So it looks like this. It's just one of those like Facebook post looking things. And it says, attention coffee drinking friends. My friend is looking for 10 people to try her fat burning French roast coffee, all natural, vegan. It kind of gives some of the benefits. And then it says, drop an emoji below to claim a 3-day experience pack. No commitments, extremely discounted, and free shipping. So that way they know that it costs money. You said extremely discounted. evidently it costs money, they're not going to be like, well, samples should be free. They can't complain. I'm going to be like, well, then you didn't read the post. So
Yes.
I'm also very red. I'm green and red. So like Kara knows I have to pull back on the sass because I can get sassy with people. So I have to be like, nope, I shouldn't do that. But if they're like, well, are they free? I've had people swipe up on stories that say $18 and be like, well, I thought they were free. And I'm like, I don't know what you were reading, but but that way they know that it costs money, but it is cheap. I do the $20 Skinny Brewers packs, and I've already sold one, and I know Heather sold quite a few of them. So it's a good way if you're looking to make some like quick sample cash. And you want to get up some extra host posts that day, if you like have a few, if you've had people that have done products for you before and basically done every host post in the book, send them and I can send you this picture after this Zoom, so you can like share it.
Yes, please.
Yes, I'll send you all of my host to post that I use. So after this on Messenger, so you can share them with everybody.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Yes, but yeah, so I just use the sample host to post if you're looking to make some extra cash, some sample cash, and that can turn into LCs. I've had people buy the sample pack before and be like, oh, I love the coffee, and then buy 2 bags of Skinny Brew because they're like, I love it, I want some more. So samples are great. If people are like, I don't have the money to buy a bunch of products, I'll be like, buy this $20 sample pack, it's super cheap and you can get it, and then they're going to love the coffee and they're going to be an LC. So yeah, that's kind of all of the host to post that I do. I usually stick to just TFX, cleanse, my DT, and the sample one, and that's kind of what's worked for me.
Do you upsell, like when you do your TFX and cleanse, like host to post? Do you like, once you start talking to your PLCs, do you like upsell for different products?
Yeah.
What products do you pair with them?
Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, this has been my experience. Most of the time when people comment on a TFX host to post, they want to lose more than 30 pounds. Not always. The majority of the time. So my conversation, I'll send you all of this after. But my conversation goes, someone comments on the TFX. I say, hey, thanks for your comment. Do you have a goal amount you're looking to lose? 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell me more than 30 pounds. Sometimes they don't. The majority of the time, it's at least 40. And that is what I have come into like contact recently. Like I had someone be like 150-ish, and I'm like, great. So we're going to get you on these products, like all of them. But that is honestly how I upsell. I don't ever just try to sell them the TFX unless they want to lose like just like 10 to 15 pounds. And I'm still going to try to upsell like Fat Fighters or something for maintenance. But they'll say, okay, this is how much I'm looking to lose. And I'm like, okay, great. So like, what is your lifestyle like? Do you eat healthy? Not really. Do you diet, like exercise? Do you like coffee and chocolate? If they want to lose more than like 30 pounds, or honestly more than 25 to 30 pounds, and they like coffee and chocolate, I'm like suggesting a triple threat. They're going to get Skinny Brew, chocolate greens, and TFX. And then after, if they agree to everything and you start placing the order, then you can always be like, hey, do you want to add these $25 Fat Fighters? Or hey, do you want to add this cleanse? It's going to jumpstart it for you. But I honestly, most of the time, go into the conversation not just recommending one product, because they're going to see results from the products if they're using them correctly. But if someone wants to lose 40 to 50 pounds and they want to see results quicker, then they're going to need more than just the TFX. So I never usually just recommend one product. I go into the conversation expecting to recommend like more than one product. Does that make sense?
It does. Do you get a lot of like resistance when it comes to the money? I mean, I know we have these like amazing sales going on right now, but when we don't, like, how do you combat the resistance? People are like, oh my God, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
What?
I kind of get both. So sometimes people are totally okay with it. They're like, yep, I am willing to do this. And like, hey, like if they want the results, then they're going to figure it out, even if they don't sign up on the spot. But if someone tells me, oh, that's just too much, I'm like, okay, great. Well, how about just like $40? We can get you started on the TFX and you can always add in other products later, because I'm trying to help them get started on those products like then. And so I will ask them, okay, well, would anywhere between $25 to $40 work for you? And if they say yes, and they're going to get Fat Fighters or they're going to get TFX, because that way you are assigning that customer, they're going to start seeing results, and then they can always add products on later. But if they tell me it's too expensive, I'm like, that's totally fine. I completely understand. Like, could you do this instead? Just like one product. And usually that's a big cut. And so they're like, oh yeah, like I could do that. Like that's better. And I'll also always tell people in my pricing script, I always say, okay, well, normally this whole bundle would retail for this amount, but actually with my discount, you're only getting it for this. And that discount's huge, especially right now with like the pick 2, pick 3. So when I say, oh, normally it's over $200 and you're getting it for 75, they're like, yes, that sounds good. But even when there's not deals, like the retail versus LC price is so like, it's such a good deal. The loyal customer, y'all, our loyal customer pricing is so freaking good. So even if they say it's too expensive, I'm even asking like, hey, would just like this one product work for you? Could we do that for now? And then you can always try later.
Love it. I'm like just literally, I have like 2 pages worth of notes right now. Just writing all the things down. I think the last question that I have is just like, what's your best business tip that you can give all of us, I know from Caitlin's team, that are like new and trying to like get going? Like how, well, that's another good question too, but like what's your best business tip, and like how do you keep your LCs past 90 days? So that could be like a 2-in-1.
Yes. So I will go ahead and answer the LCs first, because I always get like a little more red about like business stuff. But I'm gonna be gentle. So LCs after 90 days, I tell people to contact me when they get their products in, because I have a lot of customers in my e-suite, like a lot of customers everywhere in my e-suite. So I will probably forget like someone at some point. So I just tell people, let me know when you get your products. If they don't and they come to me and they're like, what is this? I'm like, well, you didn't contact me. Like, I'm not always going to remember. So I try to like, just keep in mind that like, it's not always, I guess, my fault. I don't know. I try to keep up with it, but that's a lot. Like when you're having all these potentials and all your customers in eSuite, like it can be a lot. So I always check on everyone when I go through and do like projected volume and stuff for the month. But I literally, I work with people if they want to work with me to get the results, because I've had people and I was like, okay, you want to use it like this, and they'll come to me and they'll be like, I'm not getting results. I'm like, okay, well, like, are you drinking water? How are your eating habits? And they're like, well, I'm not really eating and I'm still kind of eating some sweets. And I'm like, well, then we have the problem. Like, if you don't work with the product, it's not going to work for you. And so I tell people that I'm like, you have to do these things to see the results you want. But I also have people that come to me and they're like, oh, I'm using the Fat Fighters and I've lost 12 pounds this month. And I'm like, fantastic. Like, thank you for letting me know. So I just like ask people to communicate with me, and I try to work with them to use the products. If they love the products, they're going to keep them. And occasionally they're going to turn it off because maybe they just can't afford it for the 4th month. Who knows? But they have that for life. So every time we get a new product to launch, every time there's a deal, I check in with people, especially like if we have a coffee BOGO, all my coffee LCs, I'm like, hey, it's on BOGO. Go ahead and like get it. It's a one-time order. You can just place this. And I've gotten, extra volume from that before. So just keeping up with your customers, like talking to them and making sure like you tell them how to use the products. You don't kind of just want to completely leave them hanging, but there are a lot of customers in eSuite, especially as you grow a team. And so like I hate to say it, like maybe this isn't the best advice, but you probably are going to lose some people. So like just work with people the best you can and make sure to be like, hey, please let me know when you get your products in. I'm going to tell you how to use them and track your results. So just emphasizing that, and then they're going to love the products if they're using them correctly, and they're going to continue, but just keeping up with like sales and promotions and stuff. And then for business advice. So coming from me, if you were on the beginning, you heard my story, please stay consistent, you guys. Like it is so like this business, the opportunity that this business can give you is unlike anything you can get anywhere else. I left, okay? So I have been there, okay? I wasn't consistent for the longest time, and I was like, well, I'm just not seeing results. was because I wasn't doing anything. The stuff that we do is so simple, y'all. It's all from our cell phone. Like, where else can you make that much money from your cell phone? Literally nowhere. Like, the stuff that we do is so simple. So if you commit to your business, make the decision and commit. Like, if you haven't already, like tonight after the Zoom, okay, make the decision and commit to your business. Commit that you are going to do all of your dailies every single day, and that you are not going to miss a day. Like, regardless of if you feel like it or not. Some days, surprise, I don't feel like it. Some days I don't want to keep trying to get hosts to post up if I'm getting no's. But I really want the zeros and the comma in the paycheck. So I'm going to keep doing the things to get the zeros and the commas in my paycheck. So you're not always, and I tell people, one of the things I preach the most is there is a very big difference between motivation and self-discipline. You will not be motivated every single day to work, but you can choose to be self-disciplined and know that you want the paycheck. If you give up on yourself before you get started, you are not going to see results. So my big, like, the things I preach on, be self-disciplined. Don't rely on motivation. Don't rely on how you feel. Choose to be self-disciplined to do your tasks. Stay consistent with the business and know that it's not all going to happen overnight. If you quit after a week because you didn't sign 20 customers, like, I don't know what to tell you. If you quit after a month, if you quit, give your business a consistent 90 days of doing your dailies every single day, because I guarantee you, you will see results. And if you are not, there is a disconnect in the mind. Like Caitlin said, mindset. If you are not seeing results, then there is a disconnect somewhere. My other thing is, please, for the love, communicate with your leaders. Your leaders are here to help you. They are here for a reason. They don't talk just to hear themselves talk. Like, your leaders want you to be successful. We're not just here to, like, sign people up. You're not just a box. Like, you're a person. Communicate with your leaders. If you want to be successful with this, like, if we have people that drop off the face of the planet, like, we don't know. Like, if you're not talking to us, we just assume that you don't want to do it. Like, we don't know. And if we follow up with you and you're not responding, like, there's not much that we can do. So my biggest things, honestly, do your dailies every single day, be consistent, communicate with your leaders, and just make the decision to commit to your business, y'all. And if you, like, these are things that you're going to hear every single person say. If you hear every single person telling you these are the tips for your business, then listen to those. Because if every single person who is finding success in this business is telling you the same thing, it's probably because those things work. This business is just duplication. The things that we do are easy. You just have to be self-disciplined enough to commit to doing them. So that's, like, I still read, but, like, that's my best tips.
I love it. I absolutely love it. For those of you that are, like, commenting, just drop a 1, 2, 7, 5 million, whatever. How many of you had, like, aha moments at least once during this? Because even though we already had, like, all this conversation yesterday, I'm still, like, soaking it all up. I love it. But again, like, I thank you so much for agreeing to come on here at such short notice, and just pour into our team, pour into everybody. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Carol.
I literally
really do appreciate
Carol
it
yesterday, and I was like, this girl, I, like, literally freaked out. I was like, this person messaged me and she's so sweet. And I was like, oh, in a whole moment.
I was doing the same thing to Kate. I'm like, I want to message her, but I don't know what to say.
Oh, I'll say this for the new people, how they know what color they are. It's just look up color code test on Google. It's like the Jacob and Nemo, something like that. But if you just Google color code test, it will be there.
I have the link, so, like, for my team, I know I can, like, give it to them. And I think we got some people on here from our other, like, sideline people, so I'll just, like, post it. But it's the Jacob's personality test.
Yes.
Google that. There we go. Thank you. All right. Caitlin, I don't know if you want to end it with anything, but I have all of my questions answered.
I'm so stinking proud of both of you. I'm so happy. I literally, guys, this is amazing. We have, an emerald leader and an executive leader out here killing the game, just doing all the things. And it's so exciting. So, you know, I really just kind of want to, I don't want to take up much of anybody else's time. It's already 9:50 and your girl's tired. Okay. I just stuffed my face with 2 slices of pizza and I'm tired over here. Okay. But, I want to just say how proud I am of both of you, how proud I am of everybody who hopped on this team. You guys are all so appreciated and so loved, not only by everybody else that's on this Zoom, but the great man above. He is our best friend and he loves us so dearly much. So I just want to, again, thank you guys. And we will be back here next Wednesday, every Wednesday after that at 9 p.m. And, my husband's screaming in the background. So it's, you know, it's nothing new, but, thank you guys so much. I'll have the recording up, here soon.